When she said she needed space, I thought she meant air to breathe, not a $3,200 a month apartment she couldn't afford. The words came out of her mouth like smoke, soft, hazy, impossible to grab. "It's not you, Mark," she'd said that night, sitting on the edge of our bed, her hands twisting the hem of her sweatshirt. I need space to figure myself out." My chest had tightened in that slow, nauseating way you get when a car drifts into the wrong lane, and you see the headlights but can't move. I remember staring at her face, searching for something. Anger, guilt, maybe even love, but all I saw was exhaustion. She wasn't crying. I was. "Figure yourself out?" I asked, my voice cracking like a teenager's. "Since when did I stop you from doing that?" She sighed, not in frustration, but in that way people do when they've already rehearsed their exit. "It's not about you holding me back. It's about me losing myself in us." I didn't understand then. I thought she was going through some post-pandemic burnout or whatever Instagram called it these days. She'd always been the dreamer, painting on weekends, taking photography classes, scrolling through creative retreats in Bali like she could just will herself there. I loved that about her. I loved that she wanted more out of life. What I didn't realize was that more didn't include me anymore. She moved out 2 weeks later. Said she'd found a studio apartment downtown. Cheap, small, perfect for her new chapter. She promised it wasn't permanent, that we'd reconnect once she had clarity. I helped her load her boxes into the car, pretending I wasn't breaking apart with every folded sweater. She kissed my cheek before she left and whispered, "Don't wait up for me." I did anyway. First we texted. Small things. She'd send pictures of sunsets from her balcony, or a new art piece she was working on. I'd reply with encouragement, with love, with hope. But then her replies slowed, and mine got longer, heavier, desperate. By the second month, I was the only one still reaching out. It's funny how silence can be louder than words. One evening, after another unanswered message, I drove to her studio apartment. I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe some closure, maybe just a glimpse of her world. The address she'd given me led to a modern building with glass walls and a concierge. Definitely not cheap. I parked outside, sat there for 15 minutes, and tried to summon the courage to go inside. But I didn't have to, because that's when I saw her. She came out of the lobby laughing, her hair bouncing in the evening light. Beside her was a man, tall, neatly dressed, holding a takeout bag in one hand and her waist in the other. My stomach turned to lead. They walked to a black Tesla like they'd done it 100 times before. He opened her door. She smiled up at him, the same smile she used to give me when I'd bring her morning coffee. I didn't confront her that night. I just drove home and sat in the dark for hours trying to fit the pieces together. The space, the new apartment, the fading texts, it all lined up like a cruel puzzle. I checked our joint account the next morning, something I hadn't done in weeks. And there it was. Automatic transfers of $3,200 each month to a landlord I'd never heard of. She wasn't paying for her dream. I was. I stared at the numbers until they blurred. I called her, voice trembling. "So," I said when she picked up, "how's the studio?" A long pause. "Mark, why are you asking like that?" "Because I'm looking at our bank statements. Because you told me you needed space to find yourself. And apparently I've been financing that search." She inhaled sharply. "Mark, it's not what you think." "Oh, then tell me what it is." Silence. Then quietly, "I didn't mean for you to find out like this." That was the worst part. Not that she denied it, but that she admitted it so softly, like she'd been expecting this moment. Like betrayal was just another step in her journey of self-discovery. I wanted to scream, to curse, to say something sharp enough to cut through the numbness crawling up my throat. But all I could whisper was, "Who is he?" Another pause. Then she said his name like it hurt her tongue to form the syllables. "Evan. He's someone I met through a gallery show. He's been helping me with my portfolio." "Helping?" I repeated, almost laughing. "Right. And the $3,200 a month? Is that part of his mentorship program too?" "Mark, please," she said, her voice breaking for the first time. "It wasn't supposed to happen like this. I just wanted to feel alive again. I didn't plan for." "For what?" "For him. For us. For me paying your rent while you play house with another man." She started crying then. I hung up. I didn't sleep that night. I just kept replaying our last years together. The late-night talks, her paint-stained fingers brushing against mine. The plans we made for a home with a studio out back. All of it suddenly felt counterfeit. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe she did love me once, and that love just eroded quietly, until someone else's attention felt like oxygen. I went to work the next morning and told my boss I needed a week off. He didn't ask questions. I guess heartbreak has a look. I spent that week packing her remaining things into boxes, labeling them neatly, like I could box away the ache too. A few days later, she came by to collect them. Her eyes were swollen, her hair tied back. She looked small, smaller than I remembered. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I know you hate me." "I don't hate you," I said. "I just don't recognize you." She winced. "I didn't want it to end like this." I shrugged. "It didn't end today, Sarah. It ended the day you started needing space." She nodded, tears running down her cheeks. I didn't comfort her. I couldn't. When she left, the house felt heavier, but also cleaner somehow, like the air was finally mine again. 3 weeks passed. I canceled the joint account, filed for separation, and tried to stitch my life back together. Then one Monday morning I got a call. "Mark," she said, her voice trembling. "I need help." I didn't answer right away. "I can't afford the apartment anymore," she continued. "Evan's gone. He moved back to New York for work." I thought, maybe you could help me until I figure things out. For a moment I almost laughed. The audacity, the irony, it was almost poetic. "You need space again?" I asked quietly. "Please don't be cruel," she said, choking back tears. "I made a mistake." "No," I said. "You made a choice." The line went silent. I could hear her breathing, shaky and uneven on the other end. "So that's it," she whispered. "That's it," I said. "I gave you all the space you wanted. Now live in it." I hung up. Then I sat there, phone still in my hand, feeling something I hadn't felt in months, peace. Not joy, not satisfaction, just a stillness that told me I was finally done. Love doesn't always die with shouting or slammed doors. Sometimes it just fades until you can't hear it anymore. And sometimes the space someone begs for is exactly what they need to realize what they threw away.